How's it going, everybody? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer, coming at you here with another video. Now, don't mind the lighting. We're trying something out, new set pieces, trying to add a little pizzazz to the games room. And yeah, check it out. We've got some new sneakers here in the games room. This is the brand new Nike Air Max SC model. Eat your heart out, Odor Stink Gaming. That's a real shoe right there. Take a look at that. Eat your heart out. So I picked that up today for about $100. Not too bad. So what I really wanted to talk about, actually before we even get into that, beer of the day. Now I had actually started this video, but I realized the camera wasn't rolling, so I already poured it somewhat. It's Dab Dortmunder Dark. Nice dark beer. So we'll let that sit. But what I really want to talk about, the meat and potatoes here, is Uncharted Drake's Fortune. I finally came to the conclusion. I finally saw this to the end. I wanted to quickly talk about it today. I don't want to make a long video out of it. So, again, I'm really late to the party with regards to the PlayStation 3, having picked up a fat model, original model, piano black PS3 last year. And I've only got, I'd say maybe 7 or 8, maybe 9 games for it so far, but I'm having a blast with it. And one of the games, I got all 3 of the original games of the Uncharted. This is one of the games that we just did not get as Xbox 360 owners. We did not get this game. Rumor has it, I don't know if it's true or not, Naughty Dog originally pitched this idea or this game to Microsoft, and Microsoft shot it down, and then that's how it ended up being a PlayStation exclusive. So, Microsoft. So, a lot of you guys and gals out there have already played this game. You probably played it. Gosh, I don't know, way back when it came out in 2007, so this video might not be for everybody. But I want to just quickly talk about my experiences with Uncharted Drake's Fortune. There's not really a lot of negatives to say about this game. I went into it with an open mind. And actually, before I went into it, for the longest time, I just didn't think I would be into this type of game. You know, the lead protagonist, Drake himself, or Nathan, excuse me, Nathan Drake, he kind of comes off as a bit of a douchebag, okay? I said it. But we'll get into that in just a minute. So, yeah, not much to say as far as negatives are concerned, mostly positive. So I'm going to start with the positives first, and I've got it all written down here right on my notepad. So again, the game came out in 2007, stars Nathan Drake with his buddy Sully, and let's just get this out of the way here. Elena Fisher, she's got to be one of the hottest chicks in a video game I've ever seen. So again, PS3 exclusive. We'll start off with the graphics, okay? They're a 10 out of 10. Here we are, the year 2021, and I'm playing this game, which is over a decade old, going on 15 years. And I honestly don't know if I've ever seen a 7th gen game look as good as this game. It looks visually impressive even to this day. Even on my PS3, on my 4K TV. I know 4K TV doesn't enhance a PS3 that much, but it looks fine to me. It looks amazing. It's very picturesque, very serene, very vivid. A lot of times I would catch myself getting lost in the rich environments, and I would stop to appreciate what was in front of me. I'd look at the waterfalls. I'd look at the water that would go out for as far as the eye can see. And even though it is very much a linear gameplay experience, some of these environments give off the illusion that it's an open world game. Some amazing sunrises in this game as well. The list goes on. So the attention to detail that Naughty Dog put into these games, and I want to hone in on one example. There's a few instances in this game where you'd walk into an area and there'd be birds that would just sort of fly off into the distance, or there'd be butterflies, or a dove would fly through the air. So it's just small little things like that, attention to detail, that while not everybody can appreciate, for someone such as myself that does appreciate those small little pieces here and there trickled in, sprinkled into the game. I really did appreciate that. I know we take those things for granted. All games sort of do those little gimmicks nowadays, but back then, 2007, this was pretty much unheard of. Audio, I give audio a 9 out of 10. Obviously, of course, there's the iconic theme song. The music is really good in the game. The tension sort of ratchets up depending on where you're at in the game, the suspense, the gunfights, etc. So fantastic sound effects. The voice acting is top notch. I wouldn't say A-lister quality, but definitely B-lister quality. Really good. The only knock I can give on the audio, and maybe it's just me, but I experienced some sections where the audio kind of cut out a bit, specifically with the voice acting. Kind of reminded me of when I played Heavy Rain. So it didn't do it enough to sort of disrupt the gameplay experience, but it did happen a couple of times. The controls, again, 10 out of 10. Buttery smooth, easy to pick up and play, easy to understand the gameplay mechanics. If there was one sort of knock I had on the controls, it would be, I wouldn't even say it's the controls. Maybe we'll get into it when we talk about the negatives, but it would be the quick time events in the game. It can be rather frustrating. But again, this game came out in 2007, and quick time events were all the rage. So the game is pretty long. It took me, a month to beat it. Probably took over 10 hours to beat the game. It's just plain fun. It's just a blast to play. Every time I get through a chapter, I'd be eager to get on to the next chapter and see what was lying around each corner. I couldn't put the controller down. It was a roller coaster ride. Yeah, just a blast. So, like I said, I don't have much. I mean, I have a few things to nitpick, but that's what it is at this point. It's nitpicking. How are we doing for time? Already at almost the 8-minute mark, so let's keep going. So, negatives. I wasn't really invested in the weapons in the game. There's several different weapons you can get within the game, but I mean, I guess maybe it depends on the difficulty setting, but I was playing it on easy, if I'm being honest with you. And you constantly come across weapons on the ground, but you're already full on ammo, and you could make a decision to drop one firearm and pick up another, but they all pretty much do similar damage. Or maybe not similar damage, but maybe one weapon doesn't do as much damage as the other, but it holds more ammo, as an example. I don't know. I just wasn't emotionally invested in the weapons. It got to the point where I was just running through the game using whatever weapons I had in my arsenal, and I wasn't too picky-choosy about which weapons that I had. You pick up the AK-47, awesome weapon, but it runs out of ammo really quickly. So you pick or choose your weapons, but I didn't see a huge difference. There was always ammo to pick up, but again, that's probably my fault. I was playing it on easy. Again, we touched base on this earlier. The actual character, Nathan Drake, he's kind of a douchebag. Come on, let's be honest here. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's his haircut. I don't know if it's his voice. Can't stand the guy. I kind of got used to him, got comfortable with him midway through the game, but he gives off a terrible first impression. What else? Some gunfights I found were too drawn out. Maybe should have been more of an emphasis on exploration in the game and less on the gunfights. I found some scenes you get into a long, drawn-out gunfight battle, and then you'd think it was over, and you get into another one. It's like, oh my god, I just want to sort of get on to the next chapter. I found sometimes being in the underground levels a little bit claustrophobic. I much preferred the outdoor environments. That's just me. That's personal preference. Now this one here, Drake, as far as how he can climb and jump on walls, I mean, it is a bit ridiculous. He jumps on the walls and he swings from vines like he's Donkey Kong, for Christ's sakes, or Spider-Man, or a monkey. It's just very unrealistic. I know it's not supposed to be realistic. It's just a game. But you almost have to laugh when you see how he jumps from one wall to the next. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's fun, but it's ridiculous. There's a lot of cheap deaths in the game. You do die a lot. There's a lot of one-hit deaths as well. a lot of stray bullets. Now, I talked to somebody that's more familiar with this series than probably most out there, and I brought this to his attention and I asked him about it. I really felt that the NPCs were like bullet sponges. Some of them would take a lot of ammo and they wouldn't go down. Like you'd pump someone full of several rounds from a shotgun and they just wouldn't go down. But what he told me was some of the NPCs are wearing more armor than others so they can absorb more punishment. Well, that's fair enough. If that's true, maybe one of you guys can chime in the comments below. So that's open to discussion. I also thought there was an issue with hit detection. A few times, some of the NPCs were tucked in a corner, but there was just a little sliver of them sticking out where I could hit them with a bullet. And I swear I hit them with a bullet, and there was like no damage, nothing, no impact. That's my personal take on it, but the person I spoke to disagreed. He said that wasn't the case, so maybe it's just my eyes playing tricks on me, getting old. What else do we have here? The game crashed on me once. So there was one scene very reminiscent of Crash Bandicoot where it is a quick time event. Nathan is running towards the screen, and I think he's running with Elena, and the game froze up on me. So I had to restart the game, and I had to restart not from that exact point, but a little bit before that. It wasn't a big deal, but it did crash on me once. I had a few cutscenes stutter on me, but that wasn't actually the game's fault. I took the disc out, and there was some fingerprints on the disc. Wiped the disc. Didn't have any issues after that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was some of the vehicle segments, especially the jet ski segments. I thought that was a missed opportunity. So the jet ski segments, I thought it would be an opportunity to just jump on a jet ski and blast right through the level, high impact, high thrills, high action. But so at least the way I interpreted it, I wasn't able to just fly through. There was a bunch of explosive barrels in the water, so you kind of had to creep along with your jet ski, stop every few moments to shoot the NPC that was in the building, shoot the barrels, slowly work your way through the river that you're going, or you're going upstream on another level. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of okay with the NPC shooting at you. That's cool. But the barrels, I think it would have been better if they would have just taken those explosive barrels out of the water and let you go right through the level high speed on the jet ski. I think that would have been a lot better. That's just my opinion. The puzzles in the game, I thought the puzzles were too easy. Maybe that's just because I was playing it on easy. Again, I don't know. But at this point, we're just nitpicking. The game was absolutely incredible. I did enjoy it more than The Last of Us, which was also done by Naughty Dog as well. A lot of people came to me and they said this hasn't aged well. But I gotta say, I think it aged just fine. I think it aged just fine. It's great. I had a blast with it. No, hardly any complaints. Again, we're just nitpicking at this point. And I've actually already started Uncharted 2. A little bit of a slow burn. The intro is cool when you're climbing up that train. But then when you get into the espionage, the sort of like where you're sneaking into that museum to steal that lamp, I thought that was, I wasn't crazy on that. But now it's picking up. And a lot of people, again, have come to me and they said this is the best in the series. And now I'm starting to see why. So I'm excited to play more of Uncharted 2. And then I'll get into Uncharted 3 after that, which I've heard is the weakest link in the series. I don't know. We'll see. But that's it. That's my final thoughts, impressions, review, whatever you want to call it, of Uncharted. Drake's Fortune. I had a blast with it. So, anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of this, what you think of the game. Hope you guys are having a great summer. Thanks so much for watching. You people are wonderful and beautiful. You take care.